Left Alone is a cynical indie horror game available on Steam for $6.99. I didn't enjoy playing this. You can stretch to hit the beats all you want, but when nothing ever happens in your game, and the most that you can argue that qualifies as something happening in your game is fucking chalkboards appearing where they once weren't, and the screen cutting to black in sync with the loud ass audio sting every once in a while, you're in fucking trouble, mate. I honestly can't tell if this was hacked together or made with love by some hopeful kid with no talent or resources. Either way, whoever's responsible for this mess has no understanding of horror, and definitely not of storytelling. Horror needs a good story to succeed, for one. Like, it needs it, I think. And this game doesn't have that. It also doesn't have any sense of, like, self-awareness, playing cliches with a straight, stock Unity face throughout. In fact, this game has no awareness at all, because even cliches can manage to be scary every now and then. I mean, Layers of Fear was scary every now and then, and it was cliched and pretentious. Left Alone is never scary because it relies exclusively on audio cues to scare you. I'm not even fucking exaggerating when I say that either. Only one single character is ever glimpsed, and it's clearly static and frozen. You see it twice and it just sits there, but it's like, it's not idling, there's no animation, it's just sitting there. Plus, this game has essentially no plot or hook at all, then tries to spin and slack a plot at the end for a twist. And if you just wildly guess off the top of your head what the twist of this game could be, just based on the fact that it's a horror game, you'll probably land on the twist, more or less, in a handful of attempts. It tells a shitty, cynical story with an even shittier, more cynical ending. It's built of tired horror tropes and cliches in a very unimaginative way, and a very cynical one, if I can throw that word in there one more time. And to top it off, it's not scary, even a little bit, because it's clear pretty early on that sound is the only weapon in this fuck's arsenal. So does the game have anything to offer you as a horror fan on this channel? No. Okay, so this is how the game starts. Oh shit. Here we go. Notice, or you won't notice this, but this video is like 35 minutes long. It's the whole game, and I'm in like 1 minute and 35 seconds in. And the guy who's playing this just starts like picking up rocks and shit, and just walking around the edges of this clearly linear path. And it's like he was just trying to stretch this out into a half-hour video, because this game is painfully short for something that costs $6.99. I'm so fucking terrified right now. We're gonna skip this shit. This area, it's a big outdoor area, and you'll walk back and forth. That's the idea here. All this shit's just chat out all over the fucking landscape. It's big, it's open, and you just run back and forth. Find a key for this thing, run back. Yep, there you go. Oh look, something a little spooky happened. When we walked in that room. When he walked in that room, a chalk drawn thing appeared on the floor. That's really the as far as it gets generally, as far as the scares go. Skipping shit. Oh, we're already at the school. Wow. This is mostly silence and creepy sounds that are playing on kind of loops. Sometimes they play when you step over a certain area. It's all sound, and that includes just loud sudden sounds right in your face. Sometimes they'll cut to black in sync with the jump scare sound, and it'll make you jump. Maybe just digging for any kind of horror material. This is a horror game made by someone who just wanted to make a horror game. And so they just took a bunch of tropes and they just tossed them. Yeah, all this is, by the way, none of it's interesting. Who even gives a shit anymore? It was very tedious, very poorly executed. It's an easy target. Okay, I understand that it's easy. It's easy to just go after some trash that someone posted on Steam. It's easy to just point out all the flaws. And I'm using like all these storytelling terms about having a point and message and just like looking for meaning in this shitty. You know, I understand that people may say, well, that's just unreasonable to expect that's the way it's going to work with this. And some people might say games like this just need to exist. But I mean, it's not good. There are enough horror games now that you can just play the good ones, right? Like, you know, even the middling ones like Layers of Fear. Like, that's not a good game, but I would maybe recommend it to someone who likes horror. This isn't good though. This is like just straight trash. The reason I kind of I go at it like this is just because it's a good example of a lot of the worst shit that I'm personally familiar with. It's the only connection I need to kind of just prove in my own way on my own channel that the horror trash on Steam is bad. This is just one example, and this is possibly one that takes itself very seriously. I don't know. Like, that's almost clever. Like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, cut to black, and all it was looking back and forth between two chalkboards. It's so horrible. The school was laid out on purpose to just force you to run back and forth over the same shit, and it's so quickly gets so annoying. Like, look, stuff's happening. Oh, a dead body. Oh, look, there is the only person that you ever see. It's a weird, freaky thing, and it's gone. You know, I mean, I get it. You can't do animation. Like, you really, at that point, when you did that, it actually proved to me that you would never show something coming at me, because you had someone on screen, and he didn't move an inch. Chalkboards, man, you can't get enough of those. Classic storytelling device. Look, it's all a cabin in the woods or some shit. It was set up. You'll see. They explain it a little bit more in detail. And guess what? Just an environment. No people in this environment. There you go. Recruitment level 8, blah blah blah. Final assessment. So essentially, what they're trying to say the story is it's been a big prank on the audience. Okay, it was all set up by these fucking invincible, unlimited resource puppet master type people, and that's the story. What a twist! How convincing! Like, I don't know how you pull this trick, master. Like, I really thought for a little bit this guy was just saving his friends from a serial killer. Like, the idea that the real world, like the real world analog for all this, is something so ridiculous to begin with. It's just silly, but the twist is great. The twist is great in this game. And then to add insult to injury, this fucking game has the nerve to just putter on for a bit with like this pointless scene of the protagonist like looking at the logo that we've already seen and looking at like this room name or something or project name, and he's already seen all this shit, but yet he blacks out or something and like has a heart attack because of it. And then there's muffled dialogue and a black screen, and then while these characters are muffled, like while they're just muffling along for a little bit, it abruptly cuts to the credits. Like it cuts so hard that there's a click in the audio. It's just like, man. And then it abruptly cuts off. It clicked. It cuts off so abruptly with the credits that the sound clicks. It could not be done any worse if they tried. Like, if you think that this is like me like trying to show off how cool I am by not being scared of something, I'm a pussy and I'm scared of a lot of shit. This game didn't scare me. They tried to be creative with some of the scares, with what they could do, but they just couldn't do anything that was that scary. Like a chalkboard does not scare me. Pieces of inanimate objects and stuff moving on cue with a noise is not scary to me. You know, there's a lack of moving parts in this game that's really, really apparent, and once it becomes apparent to the player, it really, really holds you back from getting like immersed in it, and certainly from being scared. It just didn't have the resources to pull off what it wanted to. It has not one molecule of mystery in its whole body also. And it like just fails to stimulate on any level. Like, certainly emotionally, you know, the game isn't scary, so I'm not scared. I'm not feeling that emotion. And like, it's also, this game is like really cynical because like it doesn't understand that like the story needs to have like some kind of point to it. Like, what was the ending trying to say? What was the point? Where were the characters and motivations? Like the moral, like some kind of like larger purpose. The developers wanted to cash in on horror without understanding like the human components behind it all, the storytelling aspects of horror, the emotions that are at play, without trying to have that kind of deeper understanding of what they're doing. And because of that, they've created an empty genre exercise that, you know, even a genre exercise can be good. But like I said, it doesn't do horror pulp right because it's not scary. And also the game advertises itself as psychological horror. Like, if we're judging it on those merits, good fucking luck, kid. This is a waste of money even for $7.